can record. Okay, I think it's recording right now.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay.
Okay.
So tell me your name, and this is just going to be bobbing back up and down, but I'm going to cut this part out. Tell me your name and how many children you have and how long you've been a foster parent.
My name is LaDonna Wordlaw. I currently have 4 children placed in my home, and I've been a foster parent since 2001.
And where do you live?
I live in Detroit, Michigan.
Great. So tell me, you were telling me an interesting story about a set of children you have and their mom. So can you tell me about that
Yes,
group
I
of
can.
children?
Actually, in 2001, the child that I'm referring to was my very first placement. I received her at, I think she was 2 or 3 days old. Her mom was young. Don't look at the camera too. Her mom was young. Okay, I'll look at you. Her mom was young, and she was my very first placement immediately after I was licensed. I had her for the first 2.5 years of her life. She returned back home to mom. I had, I kept in close contact because whenever the mother had a question about the child, when the child first went home, she couldn't eat, she couldn't sleep, she had diarrhea, she threw up. So I think it was being separated from me and going back to her, so I kind of helped her through it. She was very appreciative, told me how much she loved and respected me for taking care of her baby. So I walked her through, the things she didn't know.
Let me start for a second though. Did you have a good relationship with her while you were taking care of her child too?
Not initially, I did not. She was young, she was nervous. She didn't care too much for me in the beginning. Whenever I would take the child, she was in a home for girls. When I would take the baby for a visit, she never had much to say to me. So it didn't start out well at all. So we just developed a relationship because I persisted on being...
Hold on for just 1 second. I'm recording everything you say. So could you do it maybe like over there? Okay. All right, let's start again. Did you have a good relationship with her at first?
No, not at first. I didn't have a good relationship. Actually, I think she kind of resented me because I was able to be a mother to her child when she wasn't. So the more I took her for visits, the more I spoke with her on the progress of her baby and let her know, okay, well, she made a sound today or she rolled over. So after, I think the baby had to be maybe 9 months when she finally opened up to me. And she just accepted everything I said, so we both got together and I did pictures and everything on the baby's progress.
Oh,
so,
that's great.
Yeah.
So was it just suddenly or gradually you realized that she was being nicer, or was it like one event that happened?
It was when I went one day and I told her, I said, well, she stood up. Her face lit up. She was just really excited. It's as if she wanted to like me, but she was trying her hardest not to. So this one day, the baby was maybe 9 months old. When I did go to her, took the baby for a visit, and I told her, I said, well, she pulled up on something. She stood up today, and her face lit up, and she was just really excited. So from that point on, we had a really good relationship. And to this date, we still have a really good relationship.
Okay, and so how old was the baby when she went home?
She was maybe She was, I think, maybe 26 months. She was 26 months old when she went back to her mom.
And then did you see her regularly? You said the mother called you.
I didn't see her regularly because I was still in Detroit and she was placed in another girls' home in Jackson, Michigan. So I went maybe once a month to see her, but we talked periodically on the phone. So we kept in really close contact.
And then what happened?
We stayed in close contact. I would get the baby, if not every weekend, every other weekend. We stayed close till the mother went from calling me Miss Wordlaw to calling me Auntie. So, then... So you watched the baby like as a babysitter sort of for the weekend? Or? Yeah, because she was still young and she wasn't really used to having a baby, so I would get the baby to keep the mother from being burnt out. So I was kind of like her respite. Then, as the years went on, she had another little girl. I accepted that baby as well. 2 years later, she had another little girl, and I accepted that baby as well.
All living at home, or they were living with you now?
They were living with the mother. They were living with the mother, but she had a mishap a few years ago, which caused me to receive a phone call asking if I had a vacancy because the child I had cared for, as well as her 2 youngest children, needed to be taken into protective custody. So when they asked if I would take them, I took them all. So In the midst of that, I still had a relationship with the mother. We did the visits on my time. We just let the agency aware of when the visits were going to occur, and I reported to the caseworker the progress and what happened during the visits. So I helped her. I let her know what I thought she was doing wrong and the reason her kids were taken. She understood it and respected it, so she did everything she had to do to get them back. So they've been at home since November of 2008. I'm still her strong support system, so she's managing really well. She's managing really well.
And you have one of the children with you today?
She's just here for the summer. Yep, she's visiting with me for the summer until school starts.
So where does the mother live now?
The mother lives, actually she's like, I'm in Detroit, kind of like Dearborn area. The mother stays in Highland Park.
So what do you think is the most important thing you did that made the relationship go well?
Insisted on having a relationship with the biological mother because it was good for the child and it was also good for me and the mother as well because I knew her child better than she did because I brought her home from the hospital, had the first couple of years of her life, and then as she got older, it was a lot of things that I can tell her because I have children too. So when she think that her child is doing something ironic, I can tell her, well, that's normal for a kid. So that's the most important thing, our communication, and that she can respect me enough to come to me about her child anyway.
So do you think this would have worked with every parent, or what were the key things that made it work?
I'm not sure if it would work with every parent because everyone are different, and I've talked to a lot of foster parents, and a lot of foster parents are bitter from the beginning anyway. And they, we tend to put it on the biological parents, but some of us can tend to be bitter as well, and they won't accept bitterness from a biological parent. But I just had the heart where I took this family, not only the baby, but her mother, and that mother's mother, meaning the child's grandmother, into my wing. Because the grandmother had a few issues as well because her children were in foster care. So just pretty much took everyone under my wing and looked out for everybody. So we're really an extended family to each other.
That's great. So really, this was like a generational thing. The mother hadn't ever really been parented that well herself.
Exactly. And then her kids were taken into care, which was the generational curse, which caused her daughters, because her daughter was young and the daughter was in placement herself, the grandmother couldn't get the baby. So the mother's kids were in foster care, which is the grandmother. Then the mother had kids, which were eventually taken into foster care. So I'm really trying to bridge the gap and just tear any generational curse because she is a mother of 3, due to have another baby any day. So I just kind of keep close contact to let her know, and when she do wrong, I let her know, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to do everything to keep your kids together. So just really a strong support system for the mother and the grandmother, I must add.
And how does your own family feel about this?
They love
biological?
it. They love it because this child was my very first foster child. Oh, I'm gonna stop moving this. Was my very first foster child. So we all had a strong connection to this baby. So we really love it. We love it.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You want to watch this for a second?
Yeah.